Folks, I want to talk about one other thing here today, and that is that you need to give your horse a chance to think. Now, horses are not high reasoning animals like we are. Their frontal lobe, the one that gives us language, gives us our reasoning ability, their frontal lobe is extremely small compared to ours. The rest of their brain is almost the size of the rest of our brain, so they're not dumb. As far as being a horse is concerned, your horse, no matter what you think of it, knows more about horses than you will ever know about horses, because he's a horse. But the thing is that we have to give him a chance to think, because when we ask a question, can you step back, can you step over, can you get in the trailer, can you do whatever I want you to do? If we don't give him a chance to go, think back through his memory bank, and because, they don't really think like that. They don't have oh yeah, I remember on December 21st that Mark taught me this. They don't remember that. What they'll go back through and leaf through all their memory and say, oh yeah, I'm supposed to step up in the trailer now, because this is how it works. That may happen fast, it may happen slow. But the thing about it is, when we're working with them, particularly in a teaching mode, we have to give them a chance to think, and not just jump all over and take a flag or a stick or whatever you got, God forbid, a lunge whip, that you smack on your horse because he didn't immediately give what you wanted, or she didn't give you what you wanted. You got to take the time to let that sink in. Let them think. Give them 10 seconds. Give them longer, but 10 seconds is about as long as they need, 10, 15 seconds. And then apply a little pressure. And apply the pressure in a escalating way. Don't go, hey, get over there, you dumb, because they don't understand that. So if you give them a chance to think, they sometimes will work this out in their brain. They can't really do high reasoning things like, what's 9 divided by 3? But they can reason somewhat. They can work a lot of this stuff out. So if you give them time, it's just something that will make them feel better about you. And the backside of that is when we use what many people call an aid. That's a stick, flag, in your rope, the dreaded lunge whip. Anytime we use those to reinforce our ask, it's usually boom. Well, what happens is the horse then responds not to his thinking, but to your force. Don't use too much force. Don't use it quickly, because then the reaction you get becomes a result of fear, intimidation, or pain, instead of, I kind of like Mark. I kind of like the way he does things, and I'll give him a try. Many people I've worked with that are very quick on the trigger have a hard time catching their horse. Their horse doesn't want to stand around with them. And that's because there's the fear that all of a sudden that flag is going to show up. So think about that when you're working with your horse. Give them a little chance to think. Don't raise your ask level too quickly to make it appear as punishment. Because what you want to use is encouragement, not punishment. The horse has a hard time distinguishing that if it happens real quick. Because I never punish my horse. He never does anything wrong, so why would I punish him? He doesn't do what I ask sometimes, but that's because I'm not asking it right. So think about that and put that in the back of your mind, and as you're going down the road, think about that. Think about giving your horse a little bit of time and how your escalating aids might affect the way he thinks about you. And if it comes to a point where your aides become he's more concerned about your aides than he is about correctly answering your question, you got yourself in a jackpot. So if you need to think about that, you need to think about that. If you need some help with that, give me a call. I'll be glad to talk to you about it.